pleasure to be sitting beside a living legend. This gentleman's reputation supersedes him. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to A Scott Talk Afuri Show the legend himself, brother Andrew Mohammed.
Jeez! Good to see you, my king. Always love. It's
Brother,
an honor.
Brother Mohammed, it's an absolute pleasure to have you in
Honor
the
to be
building.
here, man.
But AKA Papa
Gee! You're dumb, though.
AKA the investigator. Oh, that's what I feel like. So just tell the listeners, what does that look like?
Yeah, well, you know, Ace, first I've got to say MediaNet. Big up to Theo and all the crew behind the scenes. Big up to yourself. You know, I've been following you on the social media and seeing where you've taken a small dream and make it a reality. You know, so it's a living example to all the youth that I deal with anyway. Hence why we spoke quite some time ago about you coming to one or two of my schools, and that still stands. But yeah, my name is Andrew Mohammed, aka the Investigator or Guam Papa G. And basically what I do, I have a company called Real Talk, Real Action. We go into schools, colleges, universities throughout the UK, Europe, Africa, and America. And our aim is what we call the SIM card, SIM, Success, Identity, Motivation. And we run workshops for teachers, parents, and young people. And we want to create a revolution of positivity. Another side of my work, which I know we're going to touch on later, is the West Side Young Leaders Academy, which is my passion, my heart. And I run that particular academy along with 3 other directors, David, Mark, and Kirsty. We're a phenomenal team. Then we have another team that works around us, and then we have a team of parents, and then the young people. And that's what the Investigator is about these days.
Brilliant, 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 brilliant. Absolutely, absolutely fantastic introduction. And once again, I want to thank you for being here, my brother. I'm in the presence of greatness right now, and I've been following your work for us quite some time, and I'm a fan, you know, and I really admire what you've put back into our community, you know, and we need, you know, another 10 brother Mohammeds straight, you know. So I'm walking in the footsteps of legends like yourself. So it's absolutely a pleasure to be here with you this evening.
It's an honor, brother. And believe me, when I hear those words coming from yourself, you know, some people may think, yeah, okay, that's rhetoric. No, I know that you're a brother that just says what he means and means what he says. And so when I hear brothers like yourself speak like that, it just reminds me of my mission, my aim, and my purpose. Because I try to teach or share with brothers and sisters that any work that we're doing, if it's of ourselves, it's nothing. If we're not thinking and building with the next generation in mind, then what we're doing is pure vanity.
Definitely, 100%.
And so what we need in reality, brothers, and the reason why I say that based on what you've just stated, and you said, you know, we need another 10, 15 more Andrews. No, I humbly say to you, brother, that with what myself and yourself are doing, and there's some other great people out there, I can name some names, we need millions of us to take this journey on, because that's our work. Our work is that they stand on our shoulders. You know, if they're just as good as us, then we can see what we're doing today is not good enough. Yeah. So we need another extension of who we are so that we can build another generation that's going to say, you know what, they can take us back to the promised land.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But just to highlight some of your great work.
Yeah.
When I look at you and I look at the work that you do with the West
Side Young Leaders Academy.
From an outside perspective looking in, I'm going to be honest. When I watch your interaction with those youngsters, I can clearly see you are building young brother Andrew Mohammed. You know? In fact, yes. I've got a clip of you in action. Funny,
oh wow!
Funny enough. So I'm gonna throw up a clip.
Yes, sir.
Just show the viewers at home what you're like, you know, in the classroom, and then we'll have a little discussion about it.
Respect.
Yeah.
Always ace.
The first king of Egypt. Wicked, give him a break. What is warrior name? Wicked, give him a break. What is the name of the world's first multi-gene Imhotep? Well done. What does his name mean? Over. Name 3 things that he mastered. Give me a break. You're one. What was the name famous monument that he built? Wicked. Dear one. What was the name of Imhotep's king? No. Is it? King Tulsa. Give it a point. Okay, over here. What is the Kemetic god of wisdom? Thought. Well done. Over here. TV.
Absolutely, absolutely amazing. So before I allow you to comment on that clip, I just want to just tell you what I got from that. And this is what I said this is what I meant when I said we need more brothers like you, because to me, watching that clip was powerful.
Wow.
The magic.
Respect, brother.
There's at least 30, 40 kids there, you know, boys and girls, and one man. There, you had them all engaged with knowledge. And to me, that was powerful. You know, everybody racing to put their hands up first. Who could answer first? And every single one of those youngsters were empowered with knowledge of self. They knew exactly where they were coming from. So you just want to tell the listeners a little bit about yourself and that type of work that you do.
Yes, I mean, it really is an honor to do that type of work. I don't do that work lightly. I thank the Most High every time before I do a presentation, whether it to be to one child or to 1,000 brothers and sisters. It's a true honor. But you know, Brother Ace, I think you mentioned it one time in one of your short clips on WhatsApp one time. But you see, the key to teaching isn't really about the knowledge, the wisdom, or the understanding. It's based on one word: relationship. Can you relate, and can the young people relate to you, and can you relate to them? One of the teachers that I work with, one of the powerful sisters, she's just ripping it up at the scene at the moment, is Lady of My Art, Adele, also known as Lady of My Art. And we were speaking about it just the other day about the power of relationships. And if you can relate your subject matter, no matter what you're teaching, if the young people have got the emotional intelligence, they will connect with you. And with that emotional intelligence, there is no such thing as bad behavior. There is no such thing as lack of focus. There is no such thing as ADHD and they can't, you know, comprehend what you're saying. If they can relate with you and your emotional intelligence, not just what comes out of your mouth, but they can feel the spiritual side of that connection, that is the key to teaching. That is the fundamental key. And many a times I'm asked to go into schools to do inset days with teachers, and that's the number one thing I'm teaching them. Is, you know, sometimes they think if they go on a teacher's course, you can make them into a great teacher. No, sometimes you've got to be born with that. Yeah. And the young people are not silly. The young people in the classrooms, they can straight away pick up on your emotional intelligence.
Definitely.
You know what I'm trying to say? And sometimes you may be saying the right thing, but they can't connect with you, man. And once they can't connect with you, that's when you start seeing maybe bouts of misbehavior, bouts of them not listening to you, bouts of them not talking back to you. But once they respect your spiritual reality, wow, all they want to do is please you, man. All they want to do is connect with you. And that's to me, that is my angle. Get them to feel me so I can feel them too.
Powerful stuff. Brother, you said something earlier, and I feel quite flattered because I was being honest with my, I don't want to say the word critique, but when I was saying I admire you and I admire the work you do, that was coming from the heart. From
I felt it, brother.
I felt you do on the ground and the engagement you've had with our young men and women in the community. And I personally would say you are the real McCoy. You're the real deal. And we know that our community needs a lot of healing. We know that our young men...
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They've got a hard time out there.
Yes, sir.
Our young men coming up, they've got a very hard time.
It's going to get harder.
A lot to deal with.
Yes. Yes.
But in saying that, it's not just our young men that have got to struggle. Our sisters,
absolutely,
our young women, going through that transition from girls into ladies can also be a very difficult time.
Absolutely.
So
brother.
I know that the work you do, it doesn't just you don't just focus on our young boys, you actually focus on our young girls as well. We've got another clip actually.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got another clip.
You've done your homework.
We've got another clip to throw up, just showing you about some of the stuff that we've done with the young girls, and then you could comment on that.
Respect for that, Ace.
Respect, man.
Oh, I see what you're saying. These vicious women ready to do damage. Let any man come near them. Chop them. Jeez. Chop them up, brethren.
All right, let's go for a little demonstration. Right, ready? On guard. Same leg, same arm. Excellent. Same leg, same arm.
All of my daughters, man.
Ready? One, forwards. One, forwards.
Come on, girls.
One, forwards. Let's get a bit of space. You like space out. Space
dangerous.
Out, space out. There we go. Remember your fierce. You're fucking out. Yeah?
Brilliant. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, you've got me into trouble now, Ace.
Sorry.
Because that was our senior girls. If our junior girls are watching, they're going to say, where were we?
Yeah.
That was only half of the academy.
Okay, brilliant.
We've got another section for our junior girls. And I tell you, Ace, and I know, and I'm not flattering you either, I mean it, because I've seen online, especially via some of the WhatsApp groups, some of the work that you're doing with some of our sisters that you're working with in the community. I've seen some of your interviews and some of what you've stated about, protecting the woman, you know what I mean, and not mistreating her and stuff like that. So I've seen your stuff as well, okay, so it's mutual here. But yes, Ace, with our girls, working with our girls is quite an honour, because whether we like it or not, the real damage during slavery was aimed at the black man. They had to destroy our reality, yeah? And our sisters are always loyal and faithful to us. But the enemy knew they had to destroy the image of the black man. And so working with the brothers was our first task. We said, we've got to create a man that these sisters can literally have faith in again. So to say that, brother, with the academy, worked for 8 years just with boys only. We knew that we had to bring our sisters in, and maybe sometimes people cussed us because they believed that, you know what, why are we just working with boys? Is this a male chauvinist situation? It wasn't. We just knew that we as black men, and I'll talk about myself first, we are damaged goods.
Definitely.
I don't care what, I know people may put accolades on me, but I know myself. I've got many shortcomings, brother. And so I know as a black man, we got to work with our boys first. And for the first 8 years, we worked with just our boys. And in January this year, we said it's now time to work with our sisters, man. Because we know that we need to give those boys a head start. Because when our women get on top, not Ace, when our women get on board, they don't play with things, man. They're vicious when it comes to success. You know what I'm saying? They don't play. So we gave our boys an 8-year head start. And the girls are already catching up with us. You know what I'm trying to say? And we put some work on them. And I must give a shout out, not just to the girls and the young women in our community, in the Westside Young Leaders Academy, but we've got a phenomenal group of young women who have come on board, and they're some of the best mentors I could find working with our young sisters. I don't want to name names just in case I forget any of the names, and I know some of the parents are watching right now. But I want to give a shout out to all the mentors that have stood up and helped us with our sisters, and are giving some great works.
Brilliant. Thank you very, very much, my brother. For guys at home, I just want to say thanks to everybody that's been putting your comments in. We'll go through and read out a few of those later on. Shout out to all our regular viewers. Shout out to Sister Anne-Marie Henry there. Shout out to Pamela Haynes, and shout out to the other Pam. Shout out to everybody that's been putting your comments in. We'll get through a couple of those shortly. My brother, changing things just slightly, just a temperature slightly. As me and you both share the same sentiments, we understand things, and we understand that in every situation there will be winners and losers.
Absolutely.
But a lot of the time, it's not the situation that governs whether you win or you lose. It's your perspective. You took the words out of my mouth. We're on the same page, my G. And this current
COVID
pandemic, them scandemic, you know, it's not the wind out a few people's sails, but for us warriors,
come on now,
we've been doing what warriors do, you know, which is adapt,
you
know, and overcome. And I know you've been doing a lot of that. So, in fact, firstly, let's talk about what the coin we referred to earlier as COVID spirituality. Let's hit the listeners up with some COVID spirituality, because a spiritual war, this war's not just a mental war, not a physical war, it's a spiritual war, spiritual. Let's hit them up with some COVID spirituality.
Well, you see, based on the work that we're doing under Westside Young Leaders Academy, this COVID situation has forced us, literally forced us to change the way we work. And one of the things that and I'm coming back to your point. I may be going around, but I'm coming straight because I'm loving this interview right now. I'm feeling the spirit from you. One of the things this forces us to do is change how we operate. And one of the changes is that we've had to obviously create an online presence and teaching mechanism for all our children. We don't want to just disappear from their lives and destroy the work that we've been doing with them. Yeah. And so one of the things that we've been doing, we've instituted an Instagram live touchdown, which is us on live every Saturday, 12 o'clock. And we've had some phenomenal live guests, celebrities that have come online to literally be interviewed by us and share their sentiments. We've had people like Akala, we've had people like Miss Banks, the rapper. We've had people like Sean Wallace of ITV Chase. We've had Action Jackson. But one of the people we had, and I'll come back to your point now, is Brenda Imanis, who's one of the BBC reporters. And while she's been interviewed this week, fun enough, just Saturday just gone, she said this time of so-called COVID, I see it as a moment of spiritual intervention. When she said that, so I can't even take credit for it. When she said that, lights went booming. I said, this is it. This is a spiritual intervention. And when it comes to times like spiritual intervention, as you said before, it's not necessarily what takes place, it's your perception of what takes place. That's right. And your reaction to what takes place. And I feel guilty. I'm going to say it live, Ace, and I may get cussed down for this. I've had some of the greatest times over the last 3 to 4 weeks in my life based on this spiritual intervention. The Creator, in all this negativity of people dying, and I feel for that, and I bow to all those who've lost ones. But at the same time, in every negative, there are positives to be told and positive perspectives to learn from. And it's literally revolutionized my thinking, my operations, how I connected with other brothers and sisters, doing things that I was putting off prior to the spiritual intervention. You see what I'm saying? And now I see myself moving on another level, to be honest with you. And the ideas and the creations that I'm looking forward to moving on to, wow, I can't imagine myself doing it prior to this. In my heart, I knew something was going to take place on earth. In my heart, I could feel a change that was necessary. And I'm not talking about a change on the outside. It was a change on myself on the inside. Because people could see myself doing works in schools and whatever, okay? But they don't know how I'm feeling on the inside. Yeah. And something told me, Andrew, there's going to have to come a change in your life. I did not know about COVID coming around the corner. But I realize now that this spiritual intervention was necessary for me to now grow on another level.
Can I just come in there, my brother?
Yes, my king.
I share your sentiments 100%. And I'll give you a few examples.
Please.
You see me on social media for the last year, and I kept referring to the fact, because I say a lot of things subliminally. I kept saying to the fact that my third eye is wide open. My third eye is wide open.
Come on now. If you want to go on that
level
now, let's drop some knowledge now.
We're gonna hit them with it. We're gonna hit them with it.
That's a body punch. Come on.
So it was a little rib shot, because I've been throwing them out there saying my third eye is wide open. My third eye is wide open. My pineal gland is not calcified. So when you're a visionary, you can see things in the distance. And Ace Got Talk, I made a lot of maneuvers.
Come on now.
In line of what was going to happen. Because like you said, we can feel it,
man.
You know.
Come on, soldier.
It's coming. And I've given the analogy when God told Noah, just an analogy, it's a story, to build the ark.
People thought he was crazy, King.
He was crazy.
Didn't make sense.
It didn't make. Why are you building an ark?
You got cussed down for it,
We're
King.
in the middle of the desert. There's no rain.
Come on now.
You see when that rain come? It's got talk. Do the maths. So, without being disrespectful, because I know that, and I share your sentiments, where there are people that unfortunately, due to this time, have lost loved ones.
And I feel for that.
And we feel, and my heart goes out to all of those that have lost somebody during this pandemic. But like yourself, I have to be honest and say that this last 8 weeks, for me personally,
Come on, King.
has been an absolutely amazing time to be on the planet, based on my perception. Yeah, and how I adjust. And so I'll just tell you what that looks like for me.
Please.
Ace Got Talk. I launched. I know your company's Real
Talk, Real Action.
Real Talk, Real Action. I just launched Real Talk Radio. Ace Got Talk. I launched Real Talk.
I had no idea.
Radio, right? And as a result of that, we didn't plan it, but in direct response to the COVID-19, we started up the food aid.
I've heard about this. People are pinging me about what you've been doing on that.
We
Some
started
good
up
works.
food aid, and we've now been supporting the most vulnerable members of our community.
About you know, King.
Both not only single parents with children.
Yeah, I've heard about it,
but
King.
a lot of
word's gone out. The word's gone out.
A lot of people over 90.
Yeah.
So, and even that has taken a life on its own, because when we thought we were just going to give out one-off food parcels, but there's some of our vulnerable members of the community have asked us to support them on a regular, weekly basis, which we're happy to do.
Wow, beautiful, brother.
But just to let the viewers know at home why I say, this has worked out really well for me. And off the back of that, we've also now, not for me, for our community, it's worked out well for the community. We've now launched a national counselling service. And this is a free service. So for anybody, no matter where you are in the UK, if you're suffering from stress, if you're suffering from anxiety, if you're feeling suicidal, if you've possibly tried to attempt taking your own life, we've had situations like that. Whatever the case may be, get in touch with us. realtalkradio.co.uk /help services. On the food aid page, there's a blue form. Fill it out, and we'll get a qualified counsellor in touch with you within 24 hours, and it's a free service. So when we talk about perception,
brother,
it's how do you view your glass? Is my glass half full or half empty?
Yes.
And always trying to look for the silver line in the clouds.
Yes.
And that keeps your mind focused on the prize. So COVID has worked really well for our organisation. It's accelerated the work we was already doing in the community. And I know it's the same for yourself.
Absolutely, brother.
So
absolutely.
Adapting and putting all your stuff online. What does that look like now for the West Side Leaders Academy?
I mean, it's beautiful works, King. And I want to say congratulations on the weather. I forgot, but my phone did ping and said, you seen what Ace is doing now? So the word has gone out, brother.
Respect,
the word has gone out. In regards to the West Side Young Leaders Academy, part of the adaptation that we've looked into and now have implemented, as I said, we have an Instagram live every single Saturday with some of the greatest people. We have Sister Jamelia, singer and broadcaster Jamelia, joining us this Saturday. We'll be going to be doing some works with Sister Charmaine of Black History Studies, Brother Tony Warren of Black History Walks, Robin Walker, Black History Man. We're going to have a special Black History session. We've got some fantastic people coming down the line. So that's the Instagram works that we've implemented, which only started because of this whole COVID spiritual intervention. We have now got a weekly Zoom classes with our young people, whereby we have sessions where they're at home and we're teaching them on a weekly basis. That would never have happened unless of the spiritual intervention. So now we're looking to keep that going regardless now.
Yep.
We now have parent universities online. So parents, we bring in some of the top speakers, and we have a parenting class online university with our parents, which has just been phenomenal. And on a weekly basis, we have what's called the WRLA Challenge. Weekly challenge, which is given out to all the young people. We give them weekly challenges of tasks they've got to do, which always is based on the 12 or 13 traits that we have in our leadership package.
Brilliant.
So it may be, I'll just give you one or two examples. This week, we've got a WRLA bake-off competition.
Fantastic.
And I'll be sending you these videos, bro. And I want, even if I'm not on the show, you bust some of these videos on the show, because we've seen our young people accelerate to new levels. And so what they've got to do this week, for example, they've got to bake a cake or make a traditional dish, whether it's African or West Indian, and lay the table and give it to their family. They're making dinner.
That's absolutely brilliant. And please send me the videos.
We're going to put it online. We're going to send it directly to you.
We'll share them.
Brother Theo.
We'll share them on this. I'll play them on my show 100%. I just want to read out a few of the comments because they're coming in thick and fast. So thanks for all the guys that have been commenting. All your comments are appreciated. And please do remember to share this show, and also don't forget to subscribe to MediaNet Live TV, because this is what we're out here doing. This is our work. We are work.
We are work.
And our chicken, we are jerk. You understand? Yeah. So please share, because knowledge is power.
Exactly.
Yeah? So just share. Just reading a couple of comments. So we got Papa G, Brother Andrew's saluting you. Pamela Haynes says fantastic engagement in the Saturday classes.
Okay.
We've got greetings everyone. Please remember to like this video. All in one says. Sister Anne Marie Henry says, "Go on, Papa G." Yeah. Pam, another Pam, says, "Emotional intelligence, spirituality in teaching Brother Andrew." So I'm reading them out pretty fast.
Yes.
Right. Denise says, "So good to see black male teachers. Sadly, one of my best friend's husbands, a science teacher, passed with supposed COVID-19 last week. Apologies to yourself, sister. Our hearts and thoughts and prayers are with you and the family at this time." Denise says true words, and she agrees 100% with everything you've been saying. Anne-Marie says, "I'm so happy that Brother Andrew met Brother Ace. The power is flowing." Yeah, a long time, man.
Long time.
You know what I'm saying? It's just where the universe works is when it's meant to happen.
At the right time.
At the right time. You see this today, this is how the universe planned it. A long time was supposed to link up, but the universe will pattern it when the universe sees fit, you know. I'm gonna just give you a couple of more comments on the YouTube live. Yes, it's best to start with the young men. I 100% agree, and I really, brother, I can't fault your work. I'm a fan and I admire you, but I love the fact that you said that you started with the youngsters, the boys, and you give them an ear-to-ear head start. And I love the fact that you said we understood how much it's important to engage with the sisters as well.
Absolutely.
You know, and you're doing that now. In fact, I know that one of you do so much.
Yeah.
But you also do a lot around confidence building.
Yes. Absolutely.
And I know with the sisters, the young girls, you do a lot to build their self-esteem and their confidence.
In fact, Ace, when we started the Girls Academy, our very first theme for the whole term was love of self and confidence, self-confidence, building self-confidence. Because our girls may be very talented, and they are very talented. However, many of the young sisters I see and I work with on a daily basis, they don't appreciate their own inner beauty. They don't appreciate how phenomenally bright they are. And they're happy being mediocre, just another face in the crowd. And so our very first theme for the whole half term was love of self and building. That was we done nothing more than that. We didn't go into maths, science, English, even African history. No. Do you love yourself? What do you see when you look in that mirror? You know what I mean? Because we can do a lot of talking, but if you hate that reflection, it looks back at you. All what we say and do counts for nothing.
Brother, I'm going to come in there, and I'm going to be short on this point, because I like to have these conversations unemotionally. And when I'm emotionally attached, I try not to get too articulate, because that passion's going to come out in what I say. But for the last year, I've tried so hard subliminally to put this point out there that not only is the image of the black male been destroyed, but also the image of the black female has been destroyed to the point where the love of self that sisters, I would say, don't have for themselves is so shocking. Let me break it down. That they don't even realize themselves.
Absolutely.
And it is sad, and it breaks my heart to see somebody destroy themselves because of the lack of respect there for themselves. Let me give you an example. Jamaica. bleaching cream. Yeah? Listen, at one stage, this cake soap, it was rife. Right? Now, if you love yourself, why would you try to lighten your complexion? Right? To favor your oppressor. And then the big one, and I know, and this is why I'm going to stop here. I'm going to put it out there and I'm going to stop. Because it opens up the same can of worms, and I've heard every excuse under the sun, and I've tried Ace got talk right now. I mean, I don't want to upset the sisters. I don't want to upset the sisters, but this whole false hair, weave, right? We've got so many of our women that they live in weave. They live in weave. And I've heard it all, but other communities put false hair in their hair, not like us. We live in weave. And when you start to study where this phenomenon is coming from, and I'm talking before curly perm.
Yes.
I'm talking before we start relax our hair. When you go right back, you understand this is deep rooted in our psyche. Yeah, to put something on your hair that doesn't reflect your own image. This straight European. It goes back. You remember the Head and Shoulders advert? Do you remember?
Yes, sir.
When she comes, she uses the Head and Shoulders, and then she comes out the shower. And she, right. So I'm gonna stop there because, like I said, it's a subject that's dear to my heart, and we can really unpack
that.
Yeah.
But you know, Ace, just before you do stop on that one.
Yeah. I wanted you to carry on, but go on. I wanted to stop to give you a chance. Yeah.
You see, I'm going to be very honest with you. I don't know if you're going to agree or disagree.
It doesn't matter. Be straight.
But I'm going to be very honest with you, brother. We, as black men, have a major part to play in that too.
I've had that one as well. We
do.
Yeah,
And that's why I said the re-education of us, both male and female, is imperative.
Definitely.
Yeah?
Definitely.
Imperative. Because if we've got our own brothers who are trying to chase that which is unalike too. See, by nature, everyone wants to be loved. I don't care how bad, man, you want to carry on. Yeah, I got prison programs. We're going to, and some of the so-called baddest man, they cry at night based on their past. Everyone wants to be loved. Everyone wants to be acknowledged. You know what I'm trying to say? And so our sisters, they're likewise. They want to be loved. But if we, as black men, are loving that which doesn't look nothing like them, just in order to be loved, they're going to try and change who they are in order that we may love them too. So I'm trying to say, we as black men, we've got to take some of that responsibility too.
Definitely, 100%. I mean, I think I agree with you, but I can't say I fit into that category.
No.
Because I set the trend for Ace Got Talk, #GoNatural. And I started that movement. I said to her, #GoNatural. And the funny thing is, there are sisters that have actually gone natural off the back of that, you know, and there is an education process, you know, from the damage that the chemicals do to your hair, to there's so many reasons,
many reasons.
Psychological, self-esteem, etc. So going back to what you said about the young girls that you're working with, and I want to highlight this because it might have been forgotten now.
Yes.
But I haven't forgotten.
Yes.
You said that for the first year.
The first term.
The first term.
Whole term.
No maths.
Self-love.
No maths.
No maths.
No English.
Not even African history.
Not even black history.
No. Self-love and self-confidence.
Teach.
And brother, Ace, as a man, you'd have to be a strong man not to shed tears in those classes watching. We had sisters working with sisters, and we also, as brothers, we work for our young sisters too. But beloved, what I saw the transformation taking place, jeez, brother, it was like being in the promised land.
Straight.
Young sisters from 7 right up to 16 years old, brother, coming together.
Deep.
Oh, it's beautiful, brother.
Deep. I think we got a little clip of some of the, the little games, the workshop games, to build that trust.
To build that. And that was, I think, yes.
Are we going to get a clip up and we have a look at some of the stuff that you guys do over there? Absolutely, absolutely. So that was one of your confidence.
They're my daughters, man. I've got many daughters, brother.
Brilliant.
All my daughters. And just to say, Ace, very quickly, that you know, we run the West Side Young Leaders Academy, but there's an underground revolution taking place, brother Ace. Our headquarters is the East Side Young Leaders Academy.
Brilliant.
We have over 400 there.
Brilliant.
A revolution taking place. Saturday mornings, people don't even know. 400 children turning up. Yeah? We have the South Side Young Leaders Academy. We're now in the process of setting up the North Side Young Leaders Academy, and we have our Milton Keynes Academy. And so the foundation's now been set.
Brilliant.
And it's a silent revolution, because not if you are you going to be, you know, I'm saying it now because this is our community TV, but this is something that's not advertised outside too much. There's a revolution of young people, brother. And many of our young people, we have different reasons for why they come to the academy. But one of the things I'm pleased to announce, brother Ace, is that we get bursaries and scholarships for some of our young boys and girls if their parents want to take them on that level. Academic bursaries, 100% scholarships. £30,000 each child. Some of them got up to £30,000. So we place some of our young people in what they call the academic heights in the UK, the top ones. We're talking about the Eatons, the Wellingtons, the Rugbys, the Warwicks and what have you, okay? These were £30,000 a year to have one child there. We've got several of that. We've got over 100 plus placed in different private boarding schools right now as I'm speaking to you. You said so this is and the aim and what we say to them is that once you get all of that so-called convoluted knowledge, you bring it back, bring that expertise back to the community. That's all we ask. We ain't asking for you to pay that money back to us. Bring that expertise back into the community so we can build the professionals and warriors at the same time.
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I paused because I didn't want to offend any future guests or any previous guests, but I'm going to be straight. This has been, so far, the most powerful interview that I've done, my brother.
Respect, my king.
And this is why we capture these moments, that they can be shared and other people can learn from the value in what we're putting out, and create that awareness. So I want to shout out to MediaNet TV.
Big up
MediaNet
every
TV
time.
And management for creating the space and facilitating these types of open dialogues. We need more of these discussions. Just create awareness for our community and everybody know what we're up to. And on that note, my brother, how can the community, because I know there's going to be a lot of people, there's going to be a lot of people that are watching this interview right now, and they're hearing about what you're doing, and they're thinking, this brother's amazing. How can they firstly support your organisation?
Ready for that, brother. Ready for that question. Okay, again, brother Ace, I've done quite a lot of interviews in my life, but this one is different. I don't know if it's a spiritual reality. I don't know if it's the timing. I don't know if it's just the energy in the air right now. I'm going to max you up, King, every time. But how can people help us in this? Okay, one is that if those people that are interested by watching this, one is that if you wanted to support us financially, I'm going to give you the details of how you can do that, maybe near the end. I know we're going to be wrapping up soon. I'll give you our website and our contact number for if any financial. It won't go into my account, it'll go into the WRLA Builders Fund account, okay, and that'll help our young people, because we don't want to turn away. We've never turned away one child who comes to us. Even if the parent says we ain't got no money to pay you, you're still coming. We're still at the money situation another time. We need your child. So if sometimes we'll have people in the community that say, Andrew, I'd like to sponsor a child to come to the WRLA. You know what I mean? That'll help out brilliantly. If you've got no money, but you've got a heart to help us, then we are looking for mentors too. And so that mentors may mean coming down to our academy on a Saturday, working with us, with the young people, or it could be that we'd have one child with yourself as a mentor, and you may do an online mentoring service. You know what I mean? Also, we need to do the CRB checks and things like that. It's got to be done officially. But if you'd like to mentor and help or guide one child or some of the children, we're open for that too. In regards to businesses that may be listening, those who may have access to business, we're open for our children to go down into different businesses, have an open day, for example. We have great companies that support us on that already, or just to get an apprenticeship or a day release, or maybe a little work experience for one day and whatever, okay? So if you've got business contacts, we're down with that too. And I must give a big shout out, Ace, if you give me, give me 2 seconds on that. I would love to give a big shout out to the companies that have supported us. The #1 company that has supported us, believe it or not, is one of the top companies in the world for IT consultancies called Accenture. They are the largest worldwide computer consultants. Most people have never heard of them because they don't deal with public on a one-to-one. They only deal with the Fortune 500 companies. So their clients are people like the BBC, ITV, the Stock Exchange, the Bank of England, things like that. And believe it or not, they came to us.
Brilliant.
They came to us and they've employed several of our young people. So we've had people that have come to the academy straight into a 3-year apprenticeship.
Brilliant.
And the apprenticeship we're talking about is not making coffee. And then, no. Brother Ace, the apprenticeship they've offered several of our young people, as God is my witness, Brother Ace, they've employed them. They've given them 3-year contracts. They can move, because they're computer consultancy, but they're moving every 6 months. They move into different departments, so they're maybe in the legal department, they may be in the IT department, they're just going, so they're getting 3 years of working, and at the end of those 3 years, they can choose where they want to work.
Absolutely brilliant.
And they pay for them to go to university, so they're doing their degree at the same time. So you've got your work experience, 3-year apprenticeship, you're getting paid, you've got work experience with the top company in the world, plus they send you to university. So by the end of the 3 years, you're coming out of a degree. That's the kind of, so I want to big up Accenture for doing that, and we've got several of our young people still working with them.
That is absolutely, absolutely amazing, my brother. All I can do is congratulate you. I said it at the start, you know, I'm a fan of your work. Your reputation supersedes you. And they say, you know a tree by the fruit that it bears. And just by looking at the fruit that you bear, we know exactly what type of tree you are and where your roots come from. I'm going to read out a few comments because they're just firing away. So go read out a couple more of the comments. Thanks for everybody. Been really interactive show. Thanks to everybody that's been listening and interacting there. So there's so many. I've got more love, more power, and more strength to you, Papa G. Keep up the great work with the young people. You are doing an amazing job for years upon years. Ace, keep firing as well. Thank you very much. And that's Sister Shanice from the Shanice show. Shout out to you, Sister Shanice.
I love Sister Shanice. Can I just say quickly, brother?
Take your time.
Shanice and myself was working, this must have been a good 15, if not 20 years ago. Sister Shanice had a top position in local government in South London. And she put her life on the line and she created the first black parent working group.
Brilliant.
Okay, and we used to go into churches, community centres, spreading the word and getting people to join this organisation. So I'm going to give her a big shout out to Shanice. She's been doing her work.
Shout out to Sister Shanice. And you said she put her life on the line.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
Brother, I'm sad to say that, you know, when we work with our people, sometimes it can be hard.
Yeah.
And some of our brothers and sisters didn't appreciate that this is someone who's in the corporate world. She's working for local government, and they made a few movements that made the local authority look at her sideways. And I don't know if she lost her job or whether she decided to leave, but that's sometimes the price. That's why I've got nothing but pure love for Shanice.
Yeah, and I just want to say on that note, Ace got talk, because this is something I'm trying to hold the passion down, because when the little things get passionate, me just go off and Ace start fire like. But hey, what now? I always say that fighting, you know, the oppressor. Yeah, Ace got talk. I'm a boxer. Yeah, I'm a pugilist specialist. Yeah, but fighting the oppressor, I can only ever fight the oppressor with one hand. Because the other one, I'm having to deal with your own community. You get me? So shout out to you, Sister Shanice, and salute. Yeah, and I get it. You know, because half the time people won't get what you're trying to do, and it's always the case, you know. And I've given this analogy so many times. Yeah, we're running out of time, but I'm giving it.
Damn, really, bro?
I'm gonna get you back. We're gonna do a part two. We're gonna do a part two. But I've given this analogy so many times, and not to get too religious, but I like to use the Bible as a reference point because the stories have meanings. Yeah. And there's a very famous story in the Bible of a young man called Jesus. And this young man was doing a lot of great things in his community.
And
You know, he was going around, you know, making the blind see,
turning water into wine.
Yeah, I was going to get to that. The man who went to a wedding and then ran out of water.
Yes.
And then just said, what? More wine.
More wine.
Right. So the man done a lot of great things in his community, but the people that he was, you know, because remember they say Jesus died to save people. The people that he was, you know,
crucifying.
They crucified him. The same people that he was trying to help out, tried to crucify him. So this is a problem that the people that stand up, the warriors, the generals, the people that stand up and
say, price.
Yeah, that's why Dennis Emmanuel Brown. Shout out to the legendary Dennis Emmanuel Brown. Crown Prince of Reggae is one song he's got where he says, I don't want to be a general. I don't want to be a general to end up in a funeral. To them, yeah. He said, top rankings all get a spanking. So shout out to you, Sister Shanice. But we're going to carry on doing the work anyway, regardless. But like I said, we just know we have to use one hand for the oppressor and one hand for the community. So I'm going to read out a couple of more comments on the Facebook. Andrew Mohammed, an amazing brother with amazing energy. He really cares about the youngsters. And that's from Bibi Joe.
Okay, that's America.
America. So shout out to
our sister from America, man.
Sister logged in America, you know.
Texas
on the other side of the water. So yes, speak the truth, brother Andrew. Agreed, Papa G. The black men need to start showing our black women real love. Well, in fact, can I answer that one? I'm going to answer that. That's coming from Denise Morris, yeah? And she just says, the black men need to start showing the black women love. Well, in fact, Denise, a Scott Talk, I've started a show called The Love Zone. It's every single Sunday on MediaNet TV, 8 p.m. on this channel, every Sunday, 8 p.m. And the show actually, we started to dissect and look at the way that men and women communicate their languages of love. We started talking about the 6 languages of love. And last night I gave MediaNet TV an exclusive by adding the Ace Scott Talk 7th language of love. So actually after this show, you can actually just flick back a couple of shows and you'll see it. It's called The Love Zone. Ace Scott Talk. It's called The Love Zone, and you've got a beautiful, my beautiful co-host. She's wearing a bright yellow dress. So yeah, but we're going to start tackling that, and it's a very open, interactive show where we have conversations about the languages of love, because I think both men and women, we both need to communicate better in that department. What do you think about that, my brother?
No, I mean, what can I say, brother Ace? You killed it. That's it, 100%. I can't add nothing to that, man. You killed it.
Say no. A couple of more comments I read out here. All in one says, amazing, big up, and maximum respect to you, to both of you kings. Sandra, hey, how some boy I feel like. Sister Alpha, salute. Yeah, where you come from, eh? Yeah, where you pop up from? So yeah, shout out to another warrior sister, my dear beloved sister Sandra, aka Alpha. She says, brother Andrew is love in action. Thank you for all you've done for my boys and the community. I know the sister's got 4 beautiful young men. I hope I got that right and it wasn't 5. You know what I mean? They fought 1. Right? It's got 4 beautiful young men, and I know that due to the work that you've been doing for years in the community, her sons have at some point gone through your leaders academies, etc. You know, so brother, you're well respected in the community and well loved. My family is testimony to the strength of the academy. Sandra says her family, and I know her boys, and they've all grown up to do very well. So big up yourself. Be a comment now. Waking up gods and goddesses, future kings and queens, and that's exactly what we're doing. I've shared this in 20 black groups. Thanks for all the people that are out there sharing this. Just one point. So we talked about how people can support you.
Yes.
Now, what if there's parents at home that are watching this that think, you know, I want to get my my children involved in whether the north, south, east, or west leaders coming? How can they do that?
Okay, that's a very good question, brother. I mean, you're not playing today, brother.
It's got
pure
top.
body shot kind of questions, King. Is this what media net's all about now? Yeah? I'm feeling it.
You've got to raise the bar, my G.
I'm feeling it, King. I'm feeling it, King.
Yeah.
There's several ways in which our prospective parents or just people in the community, because it's all about changing the education paradigm, brother.
Definitely.
Yeah?
Definitely.
And so the re-education program is not just for young people, it's for us as parents or people in general, teachers, my education. So let me quickly touch on this. Tuesdays, every single Tuesday, we have what's called the Hidden Truth Show.
Brilliant.
Okay, myself, Lady Adele, and various speakers. We've got Brother Alim Kamara tomorrow and what have you, okay? So every Tuesday, and it's on Zoom, so I must say that. It's on Zoom, so hit that up, the Hidden Truth Show. Every Tuesday, 6:30, you can tune in with us. Re-educate the whole family, yeah? That's where it starts. Every Friday, we have Popcorn Friday.
Mad.
Yeah? And what we do, we break down movies, especially young people's movies. Last week it was The Incredibles. This week we do Matilda. So what we do, we try, and it goes back to what you're saying. That's why I said it's a body shot when you mentioned about the third eye. Yeah? And so what we try to do in the movie breakdowns, that we try to make children appreciate that they've got the two physical eyes, but when you're watching movies, there's what they call the third inner eye. And so it's about watching these movies and looking at not just what's said, what's not said, and the symbolism behind it, even down to the colours of each shot and what have you, okay? So on Fridays, we have Popcorn Friday, again, on Zoom.
Brilliant,
So,
brilliant.
you know, come and check us out. But then we have our website for those who like their children to join the WYLA, and parents can get involved in the Parents University. The website is wylauk.com. That's the website. The telephone number, if you need to contact us, is 07508 528 054. So I'll say it one more time, 07508 528 054. So connect with us, man. We're here.
Brilliant.
It takes a village to raise up our community of leaders.
Definitely, definitely. I would agree with you 100%. It definitely takes a village to raise a community. My brother, firstly, I want to salute you.
Salute you back,
Right?
King.
And then I want to shake your hand.
Please.
And I want to personally
Always.
just thank you for all the
No,
amazing
but it's
work
pure
that you've
love,
done
man.
in our
Felt
community.
the energy in this room.
You've set the pace.
Respect
You've
to
set
the
the pace.
eye.
You've set the standard for young brothers like me to come behind and follow. I've got big shoes to fill. You know what I mean? What you've done in our community.
And can I just quickly say, I know time is running out, but I must give a shout out if you do. One thing quickly. I want to dedicate today's show, if it's okay with you,
I know what you're
brother.
going to do.
No,
Go for it, go for it. Because you beat me to it. But we're so in tune and we're there on the
I don't know whether it's
No, do it. Dedicate it. Go for it.
Last week on MediaNet,
that's right.
you had a whole celebration of who?
The great, the legendary, another
Come on,
community
say it
hero,
then, King.
the great Dougie. God,
All right. So I would like
rise
to
in peace.
dedicate this, because what MediaNet done, okay, on that day made me as a black man feel proud, brother.
Definitely, 100%.
Yeah, proud. So I want to dedicate the show to Brother Dougie, but I also want to give a shout out to some of the legends in our community, living legends.
Go for it, my brother.
Brother Dr. Les Henry. Yeah, I love that brother. Academic scholar on another level. Not even Dr. Professor Les Henry. I want to give a shout out to Leon Hall of Hidden Science.
Yep.
I want to give a shout out to Sister Cheryl, Charmaine, and Brother Mark of Black History Studies.
Yep.
I want to give a big shout out to Tony Warner of Black History Walks. I want to give a big shout out to the Black History man himself, Robin Walker.
Yep.
I mean, and if I haven't mentioned your name, forgive me. But those are some of the kings, man,
Definitely.
that are walking the street, man.
Living kings, legends in our
queens.
community. 100%, my brother. My brother, a wise man once said nothing at all.
Jeez. Wow, body punch again.
That's how you got me feeling right now, my G. Right?
Respect.
It's been an absolute
That's
pleasure.
always love.
You know, it's been
always love.
I know when you know the energy.
Come on, Bob. This ain't fake, man. This is my
that,
heart
that's
today.
flowing right now. Is just
You're done,
on
man.
another level.
You're
So
done,
I just want to thank you for coming today and sharing with our listeners, you know, a little bit about the great work you've been doing in the community. I want to thank all our listeners for joining us.
This show's nothing without the listeners. So
It's nothing
salute
without
them,
you
brother.
guys. And
Yeah.
I want to thank you guys for interacting as well. We're taking things to another level. You know, in the UK, this live, not only live talk shows and these live conversations, but we want you guys involved as well, because it's about you. So that interaction and your comments and your feedback is so important. And guys, if you ever want to come live into the studio and connect in with a telephone link up, you can always do that as well.
Jeez, you're not ramping.
Yeah. For the one, come in on the screen and come in and talk to us live, you know. So we have all of that
This is beautiful.
available, and there's going to be a lot more coming from this Media Net TV. All I could say is this is, if you guys remember BET, Black Entertainment Channel, this is the UK version of that. And Ace got talk, yeah, I'm the poster boy.
Poster boy delight.
Or some boy I feel like. So
Easy, Rasta.
join me, guys, next week. In fact, join me on Sunday, where I'll be here with my co-host, the beautiful, the Royal Empress, Yvonne Michelle, international female motivational speaker and empowerer. She's going to be joining me here Sunday, 8 p.m. for the Love Zone, where we'll be talking about relationships. And then join me back here next Monday, a Scott Talk, 6 p.m, MediaNet TV for our favorite show.
You're done, though.
Until then, salute.